All right, before we get started, I just want to say rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Coming home, I got the news that he recently just passed away. He was 43 years old and was battling cancer for the last 4 years. I feel like he was one of those actors that picked his projects carefully and didn't really jump into something without putting his all into it. And I feel like we really lost someone in Hollywood and as a good person in whole. And it really sucks because 2020 has definitely been hard. So rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. The New Mutants. So The New Mutants is the last movie released on the Fox franchise, I want to say. Ever since Disney bought them, they're going to be most likely rebooting the whole franchise. So don't expect a part 2 or a sequel coming because it ain't on the way. So this movie's a little more on the horror fantasy side of things. It's a little darker than most of the X-Men sequels and prequels have been. So if you're into that, I think you'll like this one. Essentially, it's about a group of kids with powers that are in this hospital slash school slash prison. They're young and still developing their powers, and there's a doctor there that's pretty much testing and trying to get them to develop them in the right way, allegedly. It opens up with the main character and her dad. They're running away from an attack that seems to be from something big. Everyone dies, she ends up passing out and wakes up at this hospital. And now we have a movie. I thought the overall tone was pretty good and they really stick to it the entire movie. They don't try to be serious one hand, switch it up to a comedy movie. They have one specific goal of being this dark concept and they stick to it pretty well. They have this movie rated at PG-13, so I guess you can bring your kids, but I'm gonna say it's in the gray area of things and not really kid-friendly all the way. 15 minutes into the movies, there's already F-bombs being thrown around, and even though the kids are supposed to be like late teenagers or early 20s, there's a lot of adult type situations that happen throughout the movie. So cautiously bring your kids. Alice Braggett is in here. She plays the doctor and pretty much the only adult that's in the entire film the whole time. Ever since I Am Legend, I've enjoyed pretty much everything she's been in. In here, she seems to be this Professor X type character trying to get everyone to realize their powers and help them control it. Most of the time, she's soft-spoken. She says all the right things and gently over time tries to control and manipulate everyone. Kind of like a Professor X. After the movie ended, I was left wondering, what did she really do the entire time that she was on screen? There's not a lot of scenes with her one-on-one, getting people to actually bring out their powers. It's mostly spent doing like these therapy sessions and breathing exercises. But nonetheless, I did enjoy her character. As a whole, I thought the entire casting choice of this movie was done really well. Everyone brings their own thing and nobody really holds the movie back in a sense. It does get dark pretty quick and I like how everything is explored and explained pretty thoroughly. Each person has their own individual trauma and they do give them enough camera time to allow you to explore it and kind of relate to each person and understand where they're coming from. Pretty much the entire first half of the movie is spent character developing. They do throw in some power usages so you don't really feel like it's dragging, and I really like that as well. Anya Taylor-Joy is in here and she was my favorite character. She plays this Russian rebellious teen. She's able to teleport along with some other cool tricks. And when she was on screen, I really found myself gravitating to her a little more than the main character. She's very different compared to her role in Split, and I really love how diverse she is going with her roles. She was able to keep up the accent the entire movie, and it doesn't come off as faking it. It does sound pretty authentic. To me, she also has the best backstory, and even though she's not the main character, she seems to have a little more camera time than everyone else. She shows a lot of range in this movie, and I'm really excited to see what she does next because this kid's going places. You also have Charlie Heaton in here as well. He's okay. I don't think he was terrible, but he doesn't really do much as a supporting character. he kind of rides the background along with Henry Zaga's character. Even though this is an X-Men spinoff, they do have little callbacks towards the X-Men. They don't really name anybody in particular, but you do get those callbacks, and it kind of lets you know that this is a connected universe. I wouldn't say that there's a legit villain, but there are these big obstacles that everyone has to go through individually, which builds their character and brings them closer as a team. I thought Blue Hunt as the main character was okay. I really liked how they brought in the Native American character into this movie. It was a little different and something we're not used to seeing, and she really played it very well. I do feel like her power was a little harder to explain compared to everyone else, but in the end, they were able to do it. It was pulled off okay, and I didn't really think, like I said, she took anything away from the movie, but she was a good complimentary piece, even though she was the main character. Maisie Williams was okay also. She was, to me, the least best character out of everyone. Her character had the worst powers, kind of boring, but she did her best. Overall, I did enjoy this movie. It's barely PG-13, but I guess it qualifies. If you enjoy the X-Men franchise as a whole, but want something a little darker, but not as dark as Logan, then I think you'll like this one. I'd say The New Mutants is a good movie to catch when you can. Have you seen The New Mutants? What'd you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and attack the comments section. Peace.